Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be reviewing the mid-season finale of The Flash. This is Season 4, Episode 9, Don't Run. Alright, now if you haven't seen my Supergirl video, I will go ahead and say that I've decided for, when it comes to episodes of these shows, if I feel like there's enough stuff in an episode that I could discuss and make a nice, cool video about, then I'll make a video about it. If there's not, then I won't. So that's kind of going off of my Crisis on Earth X video where I was like, oh, do I need to review every single episode? No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to stick to season premieres, mid-season finales, and season finales, full season finales, which will be full reviews. And so yeah. But if there's an episode that I think, hey, this is really cool, I want to talk about it, then I'll talk about it. So, moving on, Don't Run. Ugh, and don't burp at the same time, jeez. You may also hear some, crunching or something. Darby's chewing on a bone, so yeah, Don't Run. We continue our adventures with Clifford DeVoe, the Thinker, something I haven't talked about, really. But yeah, basically, at the beginning of this, Barry is kidnapped by DeVoe, and at the same time, Caitlin is kidnapped by Amunet. She's kind of been a recurring villain every once in a while. She has the ability to control some metal, not all metal, so she's like... She's just a lesser Magneto, really, but so she always has to carry her metal with her because she can't just she can't control any metal, which is weird. Anyway, so yeah, she kidnaps Caitlin, DeVoe kidnaps Barry, and that's a majority of the episode. I mean, I'm not gonna end the video here or anything, but we'll keep talking. Caitlin basically is kidnapped not for Killer Frost, but for Caitlin, because she's a doctor. She's an amazing doctor, actually. And Amunet has someone she wants, a metahuman she wants to sell, but there's a huge piece of metal that could kill him. So, yeah. And when the guy wakes up, he's actually a telepath. He can read minds. And so, yeah, so that'll come in later. Barry is kidnapped by DeVoe, like I said. I'm not entirely sure why, though. In fact, they don't really say why he's kidnapped. But this leads to some great scenes, which would be... there is a conversation between Barry and DeVoe, which is kind of interesting. At one point, Joe and Harry go to confront DeVoe to find Barry, and it's really interesting to see because, they know who he is, he knows that they know. It's there's no secrets between them, so they all know, they're all on the same page, basically. Well, I mean, DeVoe obviously has his plans and stuff, but there's even a great line where Harry says, "You're not as smart as you think you are," and DeVoe cuts him off as "Yes, I am," because he is. That's his power, is unlimited thought. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Again, it doesn't go much anywhere. Thing is, this isn't the greatest mid-season finale because honestly, nothing really happens. Barry is kidnapped, and he eventually figures out a way to get out of his prison, which is he actually vibrates his molecules. He vibrates so fast that he can't be seen by the human eye. Because they point out that, yes, DeVoe's brain is, incredible, but his body is still human. His body is still has human flaws. So, yeah. So he goes invisible, and DeVoe is like, he couldn't have gotten out. He opens the prison, and then Barry speeds out of there, and he tries to attack DeVoe. DeVoe, like, grabs him and teleports, like, above Central City, and they kind of fight. Kind of being the key word there. They kind of fight. They kind of just fly around. Barry doesn't really run at all. And it really just leads to DeVoe's flying chair is damaged, and they both start falling into the river. DeVoe just straight up goes in and crashes. Barry activates the flotation device that Cisco put in his suit, and is fine because he floats. So yeah. So, but obviously that's not the end of DeVoe. He's, the main villain and stuff. But yeah, what are you doing? Would you just go lie down and get some sleep? Friggin' Darby. Anywho, so yeah, so Barry is free again. Caitlin. Okay, so earlier on in the episode, they're basically overtaxing their satellites because they're trying to find Barry and Caitlin, but they really only have the power to find one of them. So Iris has to make the tough call. Who do you go after? And she basically says Caitlin is in a vulnerable state. She doesn't really have her powers, and there's a whole lot of people there that can kill her. Barry can take care of himself. We have to trust that he can survive until we can find him after we find Caitlin. So, yeah. So, they go after Caitlin, and they end up finding her. Cisco vibes him and Ralph Dibny over. He's another character I haven't really talked about. And I'm back. Sorry about that. What was I saying? So Ralph Dibny, another character I haven't really been able to talk about. He's interesting. He's a dick, but he's interesting. He's so weird and goofy that I love him. It's a great character for me. So yeah, they vibe over there. They save Caitlin. They breach over back to Star Labs. Barry gets himself out, like I said, and the day seems to be saved. They all go to a Christmas party, and Caitlin even brings over the telepath, Dominic, and then I guess Barry gets an alert on his phone that like the alarm is going off at his and Iris's apartment, and so he speeds over there. He gets in, he turns the alarm off, and because they say like, "Oh, did someone break in the house?" and he's like, "Nah, probably just someone delivering presents." So he goes over there, he turns the alarm off. Everything seems to be fine. And then he gets a call from Dominic, actually. And immediately from the first thing Dominic says, I figured it out. But Barry answers the phone and says, "Hello?" And it cuts to Dominic. He's like, "Mr. Allen." And immediately it's like, it's DeVoe. He's DeVoe. He's DeVoe. And he says another thing, and Barry figures it out. And they show a flashback to Dominic, and they show, because of Dominic's powers of reading minds, they're actually able to transfer DeVoe's brain into Dominic. So now Dominic is DeVoe, which is really interesting. Unfortunately, this means we're losing the actor because DeVoe says, "Oh, I gave you a gift, more of a re-gift. I don't need it anymore." And Barry walks over and he sees DeVoe's old body with a knife wound and a bloody knife next to it. And then you hear a knock on Barry's door, it's the police. The CCPD are there, and Barry starts to run. You see the lightning around him. He starts to run, and then he looks at the body, and then he looks at the picture of him and Iris, and then he says, "Don't run." So he stops, the police break in, and he's arrested for the murder of Clifford DeVoe, because obviously they don't know who DeVoe is. So yeah, and that's where the episode ends. Barry has been arrested for murder. And yeah, that's basically it for this episode. Overall, what did I think of this episode? I thought it was good, but could have been better. There was not really a conflict between Barry and DeVoe. Now, you could argue that the whole reason Barry was kidnapped was so that he wouldn't interfere with Caitlin saving Dominic and him getting Dominic. You could argue that. I'm not entirely sure if that was what they were going for, but it's not that great. It doesn't make for a good mid-season finale, basically. So, yeah. Overall, it was good, it just wasn't great. And we've had great mid-season finales from The Flash. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. I guess kind of another complaint I have is that I guess we're losing the other DeVoe actor, because, now he's in a new body, but the thing is, I think the guy that played DeVoe, was Neil Salandis? Is that how you say his name? I think he's actually part of the main cast. Like, okay, in the credits, if you read them, it'll say starring Grant Gustin, and it'll go through, and I think it generally ends with Jesse L. Martin. And then it says special guest star, if there is a special guest star, and then it'll say guest, and then it'll be the guest stars. I believe the actor that played DeVoe is in the main cast. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if they really did kill him off, or he's going to change, or I don't know. We really just don't know. So yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if we're really losing the old DeVoe actor. But I like that guy. I thought he was really good. Now, to the new guy's credit, he does a great DeVoe impression. It's like, just like listening to his voice and the way he talks, it's like, okay, this guy, he gets it. He knows how to do it. It's like, obviously, this guy's been studying the other guy's performance, so that's at least good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much else to say about this episode. It wasn't spectacular, but it was good. I will say it was good. Yeah. So, end cards are going to pop up right about now. You can click on those. There should be an Arrowverse playlist where you can check out all my other Arrowverse videos. I've made a ton of them. I'll probably make a ton more. And if you want to stay up to date on when I'm going to be making Flash reviews like this, you can follow me on Twitter at 7th Hour Films. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.